Hi, this is Math 6, Lesson 5-7. In this lesson, we'll be able to use unit rates to solve problems. It's all about solving unit rate problems. Let's look at solve and discuss it. Suppose you're traveling by train to visit a friend who lives 275 miles away. How long will the trip take? Moving at a constant speed, how long would it take the train to travel 385 miles? We got some information here. The train travels at a constant speed of 55 miles per hour. So how can you use what you know about unit rates to model and solve this problem? Right? So we can write some ratios here. So the distance will be 1 unit, right? And then we want to find 385 miles. But what is the speed? 55 miles per hour. That is the unit rate. 50 miles per 1 hour is the speed of the train. So in order to answer the first question, we want to see how many hours it takes for the train to travel 275 miles. So 275 miles over X hours, and that's what we're trying to figure it out, which should be an equivalent fraction for 50 miles per hour, right? So in order to have 55 become 275, or you can go the other way, but you're going to get the same answer. So 55 times something is 275. 275 times the same number divided by the same number is 55 miles, right? So 275 divided by 55 will get you this number that you multiply, the factor, okay? Which is going to be 5. 55 times 5 is 275. So, which means this should be times 5. So it's a 5-hour trip. So in order to travel 275 miles away to visit a friend, it takes 5 hours. So the first question is 5 hours. And then what about the next one? How long would it take the train to travel 385 miles? So this is number 1. And then there's another question. 385 miles. And you want to find the equivalent, another variable, let's say that's y, hours, with the same speed, 50 miles per hour, right? So then you need to divide 385 by 55 to see the factor that you're multiplying it by. And then you need to multiply this by the same number to get y, right? So 385 divided by 55 is going to be exactly 7. So you multiply 55 times 7, that's equal to 385. And so 1 times 7 is equal to 7 hours. That is your second answer. Okay, it takes 5 hours to travel 275 miles, and it takes 7 hours to travel 385 miles. Focus on math practices. Suppose a train was traveling at a constant speed that is twice as fast as 55 miles per hour. How long would it take the train to go 275 miles? Explain. Right? Suppose the train's traveling at a constant speed, same speed, like at the same speed that is twice as fast. which means 55 miles per hour. You go twice as fast, you can just multiply by times 2. And then you get what? 110 miles per hour. So if you go twice as fast, you will cover twice the distance. So 55 times 2, 110 miles in 1 hour. So this is the new speed. How long would the train go? 275 miles. Again, you write the equivalent ratio. 275 miles times x hours over x hours would be 110 miles over 1 hour. Okay, this is the new speed now. So you want to divide 275 by 110 in order to get the factor that you're multiplying by so that you can get the answer, right? So then you're going to have 2 times 110 to 20. Then you have 55, 0. So that's exactly 5 times 110. And so, but you have point here, decimal point. So this is going to be 2.5. 110 times 2.5 is 275. So you multiply 1 by the same thing and you get 2.5 hours. Or you could do 2.5 hours. All right, so remember how to use the unit rates. We're going to use it throughout this lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to think about how we can use unit rates to solve problems. Let's look at example 1. Solve constant speed problems. The jet flies at a constant speed. Constant speed vocabulary means that the speed stays the same over time. If the jet continues to fly at the same rate, how far could it fly in 85 minutes? Okay, so the speed is very important. The constant speed is important. If it's not constant, then you cannot figure out different values for different situations. Okay, and we need to assume that the speed is going to be the same. So if you have a constant speed, then you can use the ratio because you can set it up to be equivalent, to get equivalent ratios to predict your hours or whatever variable you're looking for. So here, the speed of the jet is 175 miles in 7 minutes. Okay, so how far could it fly in 85 minutes? One way you're going to use the table. 1 minute, 7 minutes, you have 175 miles. If you divide it by 7 on both numbers, you get 1 minute. And in 1 minute, you'll cover 25 miles. That is a unit rate, unit speed, right? 25 miles in 1 minute. And then you can multiply that by 85 to get 85 minutes. And this is your answer, 2,125 miles. Another way, you could just use ratios and fractions. 175 over 7. You divide both numbers by 7 to get a unit rate. And then you use the unit rate to multiply 85 to get 85 minutes, because that's what you want to get. And then see the corresponding distance, which is 2,125. You're actually doing the same math, but it's just a little bit different way. Okay. So the jet could fly 2,125 miles in 85 minutes. You should get the same answer no matter which way you use. So let's see if you can try this question by yourself. Pause the video and try, come back when you are ready for answers. Okay, at the same rate, how far would the jet fly in 75 minutes? So we're gonna continue to fly in the same rate, which means 175 miles in 7 minutes or 25 miles in 1 minute. So we can use, we already have figured out the unit rate, so we can use that unit rate. So we can say 25 miles over 1 minute is our unit rate. And we need to multiply the same number to get 75 minutes. 1 times 75 is 75, right? And so we're going to multiply 75 to 25 to get 1,875 miles. Okay, 25 times 75. Okay, it's 1,875. So the jet would fly 1,875 miles. Convince me, how could you use the table from example 1 to find how far the jet would fly in 75 minutes? Explain. So we use the fractions here, the ratios. How could we use the table? The same thing. We can start with the unit rate here, then multiply 75, which is going to be smaller than 85. And then you'll see 25 times 75 is 1,875. Okay. And then, yeah, and then that's your answer. So how would you explain? Add the miles shown for 25 minutes. Because, yeah, you can also multiply or you can keep adding the same numbers. And 50 minutes to find that the jet would fly 1,875 miles in 75 minutes. Or you can multiply 75 to both, where is it? 20, both 1 minute and 25 miles. Okay. All right, example 2, solve unit price problems. Grocery Giant is having a sale on Swiss cheese. So Grocery Giant is another chain for a grocery shop. Okay, it's like Walmart. It's going to have a sale on Swiss cheese. Cool. How much would it cost to buy 5 slices of cheese at the same rate? So at the same rate is very important. That's how we can use the unit rate to figure out the solution. 24 slices for $7.20. Okay, so that's already our ratio. 24 slices per $7.2 for $7.2. Okay, so you can either make a table or you can make a fraction and make proportions. Okay, so if you first find the unit price, so unit price is like a unit rate, except you're talking about the price instead of hours or minutes. Okay, and so it costs 30 cents per slice of Swiss cheese. And so using the unit price, you're going to multiply 5 in both numbers and get 5 slices. It's equivalent to $1.50. So at this rate, it'll cost $1.5 for 5 slices of cheese. Okay, using the same method, let's do the try it. See if you can do it by yourself. Come back when you're ready for answers. Jared paid $13.80 for 5 tickets to the game. At the same rate, how much would 3 tickets cost? So first, you're going to figure out the unit price. Okay, so the rate is $13.8 per 5 tickets. So how much does it cost per 1 ticket? You're going to divide both numbers by 5. 2.76. So our unit price would be $2.75 $2.76 per ticket. Using this unit rate, we're going to multiply for three for three tickets, right? So we're going to multiply by 3 to get 3 tickets, and 2.76 times 3 is 8.28. Okay, so you need to multiply 2.7. I keep writing 6 by 3, and then have $8.28. That is your answer. Let's look at example 3. Use an equation to represent unit rate problems. A ferry boat travels at a constant speed of 57.5 miles in 2.5 hours. How long would it take the ferry boat to travel 92 miles at that rate? So we got a rate here, 23 miles per hour. I'm going to quickly, as soon as I see the rate, I'm going to convert that to a fraction. And then by table, you can use the unit rate by dividing both numbers by 2.5. Okay. Yeah, because 57.5 divided by 2.5 is 23 miles, and 2.5 hours divided by 2.5 is 1 hour. So that is our unit rate right there. Step 2, find the time. So 92 miles. We want 23 to become 92. We know 23 times 4 would be 92. So then 23 times 4 is 92. So 1 times 4 is 4 hours. So that's going to be our answer, 92 miles. Let's see if you can do the try number 3 as well. A submarine travels 19 miles in half an hour. Write an equation to find out how long it would take the submarine to travel 57 miles at the same rate. Then find the time. So as soon as you see the rate, you're going to convert that into a fraction. Write it as a ratio, 19 miles in half hour. So what is our unit rate for that? You want 1 hour. So 1 over 2 is half, right? Half times 2 would be 1, right? If you have 1 half and 2 halves together, it's 1. So 1 over 2 times 2 is 1. 2 over 2 is 1. 19 times 2 would be 38. Okay, so 38 miles. You go 38 miles per hour. That is our unit rate. Using this unit rate, we want to find the equivalent ratio for 57 miles. How many hours does it take? So 38 times what is 57? That's right, 1.5. Okay, that's our bell, by the way. 1 times 1.5 would be 1.5 hours. So how many hours does it take? 1.5 hours. That was our lesson 7. Solve unit rate problems. So you can use the unit ratio tables, or you can use the unit rate as a fraction to find equivalent ratios. Thanks for watching, guys. That was lesson 7. I'll see you in the next lesson in the next video. Bye.